Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So this is going to be a bit of a weird, different one. Basically, where I work, there's a skip beside it that stuff is thrown into from a charity shop that they can't sell, and they do this every so often, usually once a week. So sometimes I have a look, and you can find some pretty sweet stuff in it to use for crafting and making things, right? So we got our barbarian here just for scale. So that's your 28mm guy, and I'm going to show you some craziness that I found. A lot of it is toys that are potentials for messing with for miniatures and monsters and stuff like that. A lot of them are crazy and are kind of crap, and they're not going to be of any use, but some of them are pretty inspirational, we'll say. So you got this weird guy here. So many of them are, I think, like McDonald's Happy Meal toys and stuff like that. So a lot of them, like this guy, potentially there's not a lot you can do with him, but hey, look, you can make him into a big fancy ogre if you wanted to. That's one option, scale wise. This guy, I think, is from Ben 10. I have no idea like what character or whatever it is, but I think the pose and that kind of thing is pretty interesting. What I really like about it is these big chunky arms here that I might just snap off, or potentially cut him here and make it be some kind of earth elemental coming out of the ground, because he's kind of like flowing and he's not got many actual joints, we'll say, or if you get him at like elbows and proper kind of joints like that. So I think he looks like some kind of flowing liquid. So that could be quite interesting to do, but I think his arms are the most interesting part of him. You got kind of random bits like this. Now I've washed all these first, um, before going through them here. So this is a piece of Lego, I think. I'm pretty sure that looks like a Lego barrel to me. So that's pretty good. Lego is always good, or at least I think it is. It can be used forever, with the new kits as well. This guy is from McDonald's as well. I think some kind of weird pirate. Okay, like I said, not all of them are perfect. Not all of them are useful, but maybe if you got some crazy ideas, guys, you can throw them in the comments and see what this guy could be. I don't know. A lot of these I'm just going to try out anyway. Um, this guy I think has some potential. I think it's another Happy Meal toy. It looks like something from a Dr. Seuss movie. Like, even to repaint that funky little head there could be a lot of fun. Stick it on something else, or this weird body as well. Like, fill that in with something. That could be, could put eyes here, chop the head off, eyes here, and that could be a weird big mouth. And he's got his hands over his shoulders. Just like really weird stuff. If I'm looking for some more crazy monsters, like there's a lot of detail on that already that I can just kind of add some, fill in these little holes here and do something with this mouth, and you got a weird creature, which is what I'm looking for. And you got your classic kind of bits you're going to get like this, which is, if you're into Gaslands, that's a pretty nice base for a vehicle right there. Even the wheels are chunky and interesting, so you could build up on top of that. What do you got here? Oh, you got this guy. These are, I think I've seen a fair few crafters on YouTube do videos on customizing these kind of wrestling figure guys. They're really cheap, so that's like, that could be like a minotaur or a ogre or something like that. So yeah, you could do something with that, or combine them with all the different bits. Uh, these are from, I'm pretty sure they're from a CSI board game. So these are characters from the CSI show. I have no idea which one, because I know there's a few different versions of it, like CSI Miami and New York, and then I think there's just a basic CSI one, like these guys. So these, fair enough. I don't think they might be much use for an actual like miniature for an RPG, but they could be fun for like, I'm like a little dollhouse or something. I don't know. Clean them up and that. I think it could be fun for something. Or some kid maybe. This has a lot of potential. This is another Ben 10 guy. This big forearm guy. I don't know his name, but straight away I thought this is like pretty sweet. There's nothing wrong with this. Like, I've cleaned it up. It wasn't very dirty in the first place. It was just, it's obviously used. It's not new, but as an action figure, it seems fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I'd give this to a kid, but it's not going to a kid. I'm going to turn it into something silly. So he has a lot of potential. What else do we got? Oh yeah, like, look at that. That's completely fine. Random kind of assortment of Lego Technic that has a mechanism here to lift up and down. So if I turn this, they go around on the top. I don't know why. I don't know what kid it's from or whatever, but that's, it's all good. It's rubbish to one person, and I know if I get too much of it, I'll have to throw it away, but that's okay. Okay, that's missing something. I'll come back to that. A car. Yeah, this is kind of not very useful for much. I might actually just throw this out. But this is the type of thing. If I was a little boy, that's fine. I'll play with that for hours, and it's die cast or whatever, so it's not going to break easily on you. We got Little Smurfette. I think this is from the newer movie, and it's probably from McDonald's again. I'm not sure, but that's completely fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I've cleaned it up. Obviously, one kid has played with it, and they're finished. They're done their time with it, and they've grown out of it. So it's kind of gone into the skip, gone into a charity shop. But I think what I've heard is in Ireland. I'm not sure if this is true, but what I've heard that they can't really they're not putting a lot of toys in their charity shops because they can't confirm, we'll say, that they're safe for the children because they've been used and opened and they don't include all the safety guidelines and age guidelines and this kind of stuff. And I think they might have been trouble with it because a toy like hurt a kid or something like that. Nothing serious, I don't think, but you can imagine, choking hazard or ages 1 to 3 or whatever age it is, and the guidelines aren't on it, they can be liable legally. So I think that's why there's more toys going in the skip. But hey, look, it's better for me. These guys are great. Like, bad guy and a good guy. That is fantastic. Like, fair enough, they're goofy and maybe not great for miniatures, but they're fun. Like, they're cool. They're actually just good toys. I've just had a little boy recently, or my wife, I suppose. We've had a little boy recently, so that's why I'm thinking about all this stuff as well, keeping it for him. Yeah, that's another one of those wrestling guys. I think he is the Undertaker, but he's really like, oh gee, whoop, sorry about that. My little bandy setup, it's all breaking on me. But anyway, look at this little guy. That does not look like the Undertaker, but it's kind of stunted. He's like a big, huge dwarf almost, but it's a lot of potential there for a silly monster. This guy is one of the best ones, I think. He's from like Monsters Inc. I think the first one. That is just a base for a miniature. Crazy kind of crab spider legs. I could keep his waistcoat. Maybe give him some kind of weapon or something here instead of the telephone, because that's a bit silly. Well, I know, fair enough, silly. He's got a little dicky bow and waistcoat and everything, but I might keep that and give him something here. Maybe a horn or something, because he doesn't look like he's a warrior himself, but he could be some kind of a Jabba the Hutt type figure, I'm thinking. But he'd be a lot of fun to paint up. He could be like a mob boss or something. Yeah, a lot of potential in that. Let's get through these now. All the little bits at the end of the bag. Okay, what do we got? Yeah, Playmobil, broken. Yeah, I might throw that out. You got just a straight up Ice King from Adventure Time here. That looks like pretty new to me. Fair enough, he's got this absolutely terrible connection bit here. This connection line where the two pieces are put together. But you could fill that in and he could be a crazy old silly big wizard. Or he could just be the Ice King in the game. You got some more of these CSI characters. Maybe someone knows who they are from the show. These little farmer guys. He could, like, this is silly, but I feel like that's like a base for a Goliath miniature. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's a bit too tall and you'd have to do some work. Give him a big axe, give him a beard, change his clothes maybe, give him a loincloth. I think you're good to go. Like, I know it's silly and it's a different amount of detail that you get from a miniature, but like a proper miniature. But that's fine. It's unique. It's yours. You know what I mean? And this as well. Like, look, this could be your bard character if you're some kind of hippo race. Obviously paint it up and maybe give it some chainmail or something like that. He could have a magical microphone, or the microphone could like lead up to a big horn, like a big sound system on his back. Like, that's his class. This is really, really fun. He's got a rose in his hand here. Yeah, you can figure out, give him a little dagger or something, crossbow. I don't know. This potential. Big, huge horse. Probably not going to use that for anything, but as a toy, it's completely fine. What else we got? Take out all these little bits. I think you'll see here, not everything is very useful. And like I said, not every week they have good stuff in it, or they even have it open. like that is from some kind of Bob the Builder thing, I think. It looks like that way from the face on it. So not really great for miniatures, we'll say. You got more Broken Playmobil. You got more CSI Old Guy. You got some more Moshi Monster type creature that I'm probably not going to use this for anything. Probably just throw that out. Just completely fine Hot Wheels to go mad with Gaslands or just play with. Like, I mean, that's completely fine. Totally new looking. Same thing here, slightly bigger scale. But look, that's if you want to go crazy with Gaslands. Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls. Probably going to throw this out as well because it seems broken. It seems like it was a part of maybe the three of them flying. Buttercup, Blossom, and Bubbles. Yeah, it was a good show. I think back in the day that was a good show. You got the lady from Frozen here. I don't know her name. And she looks like she's been attacked by some kind of either rat or cat or potentially a little tiny dog or something. You can see after the focusing. So, I mean, look, I was going to just cover that up and give her some kind of ghoulish face and she could be some kind of banshee creature. You could give her a face like the Scream, the Mask, or that painting it was based on. This guy is pretty legit. That's what you want. He's actually quite stunted looking, or kind of shorter than I thought he'd be. I thought he'd be perfect. I think she's a good size. I thought he'd be perfect for 28mm, but I think he's from a Cluedo game, and he's obviously got very kind of modern looking clothes on, but you know, he could work with it. Maybe potentially give him a new head. That might work from another 28mm kit. He could be a little businessman or something silly. I don't know. There's potential there. He's a good scale, like. You get some more guys from CSI. Like, obviously, I don't think that would work well. Not in my world. I think it's a bit silly, but I thought they were fun to keep anyway. Just because straight away I thought they'd be good in a little dollhouse or something. Not for me, you know. I don't actually play with toys. I just break them and make them into monsters. And you got this little Fisher Price looking football guy for tiny little babies, I'll say. And last thing is this. I actually had bought some of these already because I thought they were fantastic. This is from Secret Life of Pets. I don't think I've featured them in a video already. I have one big one already, and I have 2 or 3 or even 4 maybe smaller versions of the same sculpt that were in pound shops, and I just loved the dimensions of them. They were so silly. I was going to use them for mounts. I'm pretty sure I didn't mention them in another video. And obviously his head comes off, but I think that's just for ease of making them. For actually casting them, I'd say. But they were going to be, I had great plans for these guys, and I will eventually, but like, look, their tiny little legs, they're so silly, like, or even as a mount, put a saddle on it, a battle dog mount, you know what I mean? But anyway, guys, look, that's just some stuff that came from the skip from beside where I work. It's a, like I said, charity shop, and they put their stuff they can't sell in there, and usually it's an absolute ton of DVDs, absolute ton of shoes and handbags. So that's all the ladies not using their handbags and shoes and throwing them out and having to get new ones. Loads of baby stuff as well, because they just can't give it away, or they can't sell it for legal reasons. And yeah, it's great. So I have a look, and sometimes I dig some great stuff out, and sometimes it's some useless stuff. But anyway, if I get anything interesting, I might do a little video on it again. I'm still working on other projects in the mix that I've done videos on in the past. I'm not getting a ton of time at the moment to do some hobbying, but I'll pop up a video when I can. So yeah, keep subbed if you want to see videos, guys, and I'll catch you again in the next one.